Hey. So we are back for one more week of this 5-star Grand Prix. How long does this last? We don't know. But you know what? We have lots of wrestling to talk about. All the girlies are head to head. Like, how many of them? Like 6 or 7 of them are all tied. And but some of them are making a comeback. So stick around, chat with us. And yeah, this is your Rising Sun rundown on Women's Wrestling Talk.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
Hey, y'all. It is Thursday in the afternoon or the evening, depending on when you watch this or where you're watching from. But this is your Rising Sun rundown on Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Hi, Bobby. Hello. Nice to see you joining us yet again. Hey, how's everybody doing before we even get into it?
Ooh, auntie tired.
Yes. The hashtag is tired for this.
Well, if that's the case, then why don't we go ahead and get right into it? Let's do it.
Amen. So we started off. We're covering how much today? A lot. It's been a lot. It's a lot of stuff going on, and there's more stuff coming, but it's all good stuff. So the Fukuyama show happened. That was the 5-star before the pay-per-view, and so we had Utami Hayashishita versus Mariah May. We had Mina Shirakawa versus Azumi. We had Giulia versus Momo Watanabe, and we had Mayu Iwatani versus Ami Sourei. And I liked all of these matches, but I clearly had a favorite. Obviously, the one where somebody's getting hit with a bat. The girls, listen, that Giulia Momo match, that's my type of chaos. I like that. You know what? Let's forget all that talking mid-entrance. Let's get to business. Period. The girls were scrappy. She took her bat out of her hand, hit her with it. That's what I'm talking about. That's my type of energy. That was my favorite match out of all of these, but clearly the other ones were also very good. But yeah, this was my favorite out of them. Obviously, Utami and Mariah with the rose thing. She threw the rose in Mariah's face afterwards. That was very nasty business. But you know what? Hey, I'm a Utami fan, so I can live with it. Mariah continues to look impressive. What else? Mina, didn't expect Mina to lose to Azumi. I ain't gonna lie, she done got that blonde hair and she's showing out, child.
I was shocked. I really was.
Azumi's cutting up, and also she's one of those people. I just want to say, when Stardom is finally ready to pull the trigger on her, she's gonna be unstoppable. Hey, and Mayu versus Ami. I will say Ami's been really impressing me lately. I've really enjoyed her showing. She's continuing to get better and better. And to have a great showing against Mayu Otani that's pretty much as high as you can go. So I was pleased with all the matches, but especially the one with the bat.
Yes. Okay. Here are some, because I try to jot down some notes while I'm watching. This is what I wrote for the Giulia Momo match. I said, Momo said, not on my watch, because homegirl was like, you are not getting any further. Let's just get this started. Okay. I have the chair and exclamation marks. There was a chest kick. I think she kicked Giulia in the chest. And I was like, baby, that looked painful. And then I have in all caps, the bat. And then I said, what does this say? Signs? Oh, Giulia picked up like a sign or something. And this was my favorite match because apparently I love the chaos too. I didn't think I did, but it's every time I watch a match, I'm like, where's the chaos? Where's the table? Where's the chair? This is where we are. This is wonderful. Also mad that Mariah was like, hey, here's a flower. And Tommy said, no, I beat you. And here's your flower back in your face. Yeah, so definitely Giulia Momo was my favorite one. And then my second favorite one was Mariah and Utami. What did I write for Azumi and Mina? Oh, Yo, Mina was trying to take out Azumi's knees the whole time. She was trying to take them knees out. I was like, sis, you gotta stop it. It's a lot. But yeah, those are my favorites. Those are my notes that I can barely see. Look on my sticky note.
Well, I pointed out Azumi versus Mina being one of my favorites, and then also Giulia versus Momo, which seems to be universal. Yeah, so my thing is I kind of more go towards the Azumi and Mina match just because I love a quick pace match. Like that's like my thing. Like, ooh, that's always gonna get me. But I was a little like I hate to say it because I do like Azumi, but I was just like, you know what? I don't know. Like, how did Mina lose this? Because I feel like Mina really had control the entire match for like a good portion of it. And I was just so like, damn, girl, how you lost this? But you know what, Azumi, you really are that girl. So I'm not even going to really go too hard about that. But I was just shocked because the way she was working that leg, like she was not letting up. And I was just like, ain't no way. Like, how is she going to come back from this? But you know what? Damn. Azumi, she did come back from it. I said, you know what? I'm never going to doubt you ever again. I am so sorry. And please, you know, I'm sorry. Giulia with the sign and then the bat and then beating, like, you know what, Giulia? I respect it, as you should, because they really was playing with you last week, actually. They very much were. So it was time for you to get your licks back. And that you did. Especially, you know what? Momo been getting on my nerves lately. She really been beating on people. Just crazy with that bat. They need to confiscate it, honestly.
What I said about Odio Tai, they do what they want. They are the goons of stardom. The goons.
And gooning she has been. Because, oh my goodness, beating on everybody. The help anybody standing within a 5 centimeters. Just there. Beating on them.
When you're ready, come and get it. No. Yeah.
No, they were so good.
You made a really good point. I think about the Mina and Azumi match. Mina did have control for most of the match and worked on the knees, but a reason for that is because Azumi is essentially like the queen of high speed matches. So if you let her catch that speed, and you let her speed up, hang it up, flat screen, it's over.
And she caught up.
And she caught up. And once she really starts zooming, when she get on her zoom, it's over.
It's quiet. I love her, like the way she does her pin too.
Absolutely.
Every time gets me. I don't care how many times I see it. I don't care.
Her technique is so solid. And when you think about like the fact that she's only 20, it's absolutely insane.
We have a question here. Which members of Odio Tai would you like to see wrestle against Giulia for New Japan Strong Women's Championship?
Momo.
Okay.
Yeah. Natsuko, like we'll talk about her later. Where her sights are going forward. But yeah, she does rule and she is leading in them standings. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would put Momo because Momo and Giulia they're always going to like cook. And I would love to see that match specifically stateside because imagine them in like a Suedo death match in the United States. Like that'd be crazy.
I would love to see it.
That'd be crazy.
That's all I got. But I will, before we move on, Shay, I will agree with you that I do like Azumi's matches. I like that they are faster paced because I do sometimes I get like a little like, I feel like with Mariah May, I'm noticing that like her matches at the beginning, they kind of, I feel like they just drag a little bit until you know it's the end and then they pick up. So you kind of already know what to expect, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see that. I think Mayu and Ami also was really great too. Like Mayu's strikes are, I think she almost knocked Ami completely out at one point. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, that's the icon. Icon.
What else you got?
What I was going to say, going to the Mariah part, I think that honestly, going to Stardom, I feel like she's unlearning her previous wrestling training. And I think like sometimes like it shows, like just because I feel like the training is completely different, like in the UK versus like Japan. And so like you can see in her matches when the style clicks for her. So I think like she's unlearning her training, because I think like when you go into that environment, you essentially have to like relearn wrestling all over again. It's completely different. And so I think that that's what we're witnessing, like her unlearning a lot of the habits from like how she used to wrestle versus how she wrestles now. Like I think she said she's technically now had more matches in Stardom than any other time in her career, and she's only been in Stardom since December 29th. That's insane.
Well, good luck to you, Mariah. We are cheering for you, rooting you on, girl.
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
Wait, hold on. We got some comments. Mariah May is really impressing a lot of promotion in the States. Last I heard, it was rumor she was getting eyes from AEW. This is true. We have not received an update yet. My opinion, I hope that she stays where she is at. Anyway, JD says Japan seems like they don't play when it comes to training. I rarely spy a botch in Stardom. I'm sure they're there, but they're smooth with it. I have to agree. Since I've started watching, I'm like, oh, this is, y'all got it.
It's death row.
Yeah,
it's death row.
Yeah, very smooth with it.
Moving forward, we had a few. This past weekend was the 5-star special pay-per-view in Hiroshima, and there were a few 5-star Grand Prix matches. I don't know why they call it the 5-star Grand. It was the 5-star special because most of the matches actually weren't 5-star matches, but that's not my job to get into that. We had Momo Watanabe versus Utami Hayashishita. We had Tam Nakano versus Starlight Kid, and we had Sourei versus Mayu Iwatani. Now, all of these matches were really good. I think that this was Starlight Kid's best match of the tournament, and I think that this was, Momo and Utami are always going to cook, but Sourei and Mayu, that match I've actually watched twice because it's so good. Like, those are the two, in my opinion, two of the standard bearers, not just for Stardom, but for women's wrestling, period. Like, I think I've said this before, pound for pound, just based off skill on any given night, Sourei is the best women's wrestler in the world. She's legit. Them strikes are real. I can tell it hurts. I've never felt it, but I think I feel it every time she swings on somebody. And Mayu Iwatani can take a beating like no other. When she gets into that zombie Mayu state, like it's like, how much pain can you take? This was also a shocker to the tournament too, because Sourei beating Mayu here officially eliminates the icon from the tournament. She is officially eliminated from contention from the 5-star Grand Prix, the IWGP Women's Champion. So, it's a lot happening there. Those are my feelings so far. Oh, one more thing. Tam Nakano. I love the fact that she cradles her title like a newborn baby. She's surgically attached to that belt, and I have to stand. She takes wrestling very seriously, and sometimes it scares me. But you know what? Clearly, she's effective, and I have to stand.
Shay, what you got?
For me, I have a few that I actually marked off. Damn, I think I marked off almost everyone as my favorites because I usually always mark like a pillow thing next to it. I love the match with Tam Nakano and Starlight Kid. Like, it was very quick and fun, and I feel like Tam just came out like a hurricane, but Starlight Kid was not playing. There was this one missile drop kick that was just so clean. Like, I was like, oh my goodness, Starlight Kid, like, you're gagging me today. Like, as you said, like, this was my favorite match so far from Starlight Kid in the tournament for sure. Like, I loved it. And then obviously what you said with Sourei and Mayu, they just have, the only thing I put for my notes was they have amazing chemistry. Like, cannot be taught type of chemistry. Like, it's outrageous. We'll just talk about that right now because I have for the other ones outside of the tournament. But I really enjoyed these two matches. Very fun. Again, as I said, I love a fast-paced match. So I don't know, I can't even say which one between the two I loved, but it's like they were rocking. And I can't believe it. I didn't know that it was like now they're like kind of cutting people out now. I didn't know that we had reached that point, but wow, Mayu. And I was literally like, Mayu, what's going on, girl?
Yeah, I'm with you. That I didn't realize as well that they were cutting people. So, well, I guess then we are getting closer. JD says, funny that you say that, Lyric, because the consensus of people chats I speak to is Sourei is the most technically sound of the bunch. Must be true.
No, seriously, she could put your favorite wrestler, regardless of gender, on their ass. Like, for real. Like she could have like. She can go toe to toe with like Bryan Danielson. That's how much like I believe in like Sourei is her. Period.
Let's go. Would love to see that. Would love to see that. To reiterate what Shay said, I did like Starlight Kid Tam's match. I was eating it up. I thought it was really good. And it's so funny because when I'm watching, you're watching the individual matches, like you're not watching the whole thing as a whole. And I always like check the time and I'm like, how long are these matches? And then I realized that they spend like 5 to 7 minutes getting to the ring. So I'm like, wait, what are y'all going to do in this? I mean, you could do something in however much time, but they be giving it. So that's all.
That's a really good point that you made. And honestly, might as well say it here. There was a conversation I saw on Twitter yesterday about specifically last night, Chris Statlander versus Emma Sakura happened. And it was less than 5 minutes, but the match was so quality. And I think it opens the debate for women's wrestling of what is the first fight to fight for? Like, what is the first fight? Do you fight for more time or do you fight for being able to have more quality of matches and then the time will follow? And it's interesting you said that about Stardom, because if you actually check the times on some of these Stardom matches, they're not very long. Specifically for the 5-star, there's a 15-minute time limit. For the Cinderella tournament that they hold earlier in the year, there's a 10-minute time limit. And most of the matches never reach the time limit. And so it's very interesting. And like, I don't have a clear stance, I think, either way, but I can say I do prefer a shorter, high quality match versus just giving people a 15-minute match and them stinking up the place. But maybe that's just me.
No, I think that you're right. I think obviously we're talking about this here, but like one thing that, we've noticed reviewing Collision, which is great, is that, their main events are usually like 20, 25 minutes long. And it's like, well, none of them really need to be that long.
No.
I haven't seen one yet. I don't believe. I will run this back if I need to correct it. And you're right, like longer doesn't equal better. Right. So I think here with these matches, like you said, like Emi Sakura, like Homegirl said, y'all got me effed up. Y'all did not see me at Wembley. Y'all saw me crying on the internet over We Will Rock You. I'm coming out here. I think this is her. I didn't see.
This was her first time on Dynamite, I think, since 2019.
Yeah. So essentially the entirety, she's obviously been on Rampage and like Dark Elevation. But yeah, she was giving it to us. And you're right. Here is same that we don't need that. I will take note of the time, but it doesn't make a difference if from beginning to end, you are giving us a match worth watching.
Absolutely. I think, and also that's how Emi Sakura really built her following amongst fans. Most of her matches, I think for like a solid 2 years in AEW, 2 to 3 years, were on Dark and Elevation. So she's averaging less than 10 minutes every time, but they were so high quality. Like I remember her match with Athena. I remember her match with Toni Storm, like these high quality matches. And she's not the only one. Athena also, when she was on Dark, was having, I think even on Ring of Honor, Athena makes her squash matches entertaining. Mm-hmm. And so like, it's all about, I think, obviously just the framing, I think, of how you present, I think, the matches, more so that I'm more concerned about rather than the clock. Obviously more time across the board, like, of course, but I think quality over quantity is definitely a conversation worth having.
For sure, for sure. Hey, Nikki. Nikki says the finish of Chris and Emmy was well produced. Great match. I really enjoyed the placement on the card too. Very,
Absolutely.
very well. And Joseph says yes. December 2019. She had been mostly YouTube. Yep, dark elevation. So, yeah.
Moving forward, there were 4 title matches. So I'll start from the bottom. There was the Wonder of Stardom Championship. Was on the line, Mirai versus Konami. Y'all know I am not a Mirai truther. However, this was one of her better matches. And I think part of that is because of, Konami, but I got to give credit where it's due. So shout out to Mirai. You did not disappoint me this time. We had the MVP of New Japan Strong, the strong women's division, Momo Kogo versus Saki Kashima. This match was also very short, but it was also a high speed match. Momo looked great. Saki got the win. I was a little sad about it, but hey, she used to be an Odio tie, so she's still trying to shake them goon qualities off of her. Then we had, I'm saving my favorite one for last. We had Giulia versus Risa Sera for the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. Now, this is an example of a match I think going too long. Was it the main event? Yes. Should it have main evented? Probably not. Now that I'm thinking back, I think that maybe the tag match, or I can't believe I'm saying this, the white belt match with Mirai should have probably main evented here over the New Japan Strong title, because technically the New Japan Strong title is not a Stardom title at all. But I understand it's on Giulia, Stephanie Vaquer or Emi Sakura. Stephanie Vac is definitely going to be the next challenger. They've already announced that CMLL is going to be a huge part of that Fighting Spirit Unleashed show in Las Vegas. They flashed her face across the screen immediately, and they already announced Giulia's going to be there. Yeah, it's game over. I can't wait. Mm-hmm. I can't wait for that match. It's going to cook. But yeah, Giulia and Risa Sera, they had a lot of history, and so I was expecting more. Not saying it was bad, but I definitely know that they have a better match in them. They did want to celebrate her U.S. debut and a successful defense. Now, I'm not sure I agree with that. And the reason why I say this is because, Stardom has been kind of half-assed as far as capitalizing on all of their momentum in the States. So, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's because main event because it's Giulia, but I'm not sure if it's to celebrate her success in the U.S., because it feels like, honestly, they're trying to not spend too much time on her success in the U.S., because her success in the U.S. could possibly mean her, jumping ship one day. So I'm not sure if it's about that, but I do think it's because it was Giulia, and also because of Risa Sera has showed up in Stardom before as a part of prominence. There's a history there. So I do think it was more so because of the feud itself rather than trying to capitalize on the American momentum. But my favorite match of the night, one of my favorite matches of the weekend, matter of fact, one of my favorite tag matches of the year, just period. The girlies ate down. They cooked. Natsupoi and Saori versus Suzu Suzuki and Mei Sarah. My God, what a match it was. That's tag team wrestling. That's women's wrestling. That's just pro wrestling. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent across the board. Excellent. And that, honestly, that match just proved the difference between Stardom and everybody else. I have never seen just Natsupoi and Saori. They might be good enemies, but they are much better as tag team partners. Oh, Suzu and Mei. Yeah, she has a title that belongs to the U.S. chapter of New Japan. So, they have to, because they're also owned by Bushiroad. But make no mistake, they don't want to.
So about this tag team match, I enjoyed it. I did. I enjoyed it. I think that there were parts of it. I don't know. I guess again, it was a longer match, so they had to pace it accordingly. But there were some parts where I was like, okay, but for the most part, I really enjoyed it. I can't remember exactly which parts that I was like, okay, like this is, we can just keep it moving here, but I overall I liked it. And listen, the way they be throwing themselves I don't know. I liked it. Shay, what'd you think?
Now, listen, I see my girls. I said, oh, they about to eat up. The other, listen, I think I wanted to make sure I get her name right, but it was May Sarah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's the truth.
Oh
my
real.
God. Whoa. I was scared. I was like, girls, hold on, put your seatbelts on, because this girl's not playing. Suzu as well, but May she was going serious. I just want to say, Natsupoi, she is so like, can you just, if I could just like, why? Why? I'm sorry. That was funny.
Can I spotlight you? Oh, that's me. Oh no. You do it again.
Look at this.
Bye, please.
She's too good. Like, I'm obsessed with Natsupoi. Because the way that she wrestles is like hood. Like, she's beating on people, knocking doors down. Where's my money type of beats down that she gives.
Absolutely.
But she don't act like that. It's sunshine and rainbows. I can't get over it.
I think that's what I love about Stardom, though, like, of just how the most lethal of them are the ones who have those happy-go. Like, Natsupoi is like that. Tam is like that. Who else is like that? May Sarah is like that, actually. She has this really, like, goofy, playful personality, but she get in that ring and hoop. Yeah.
I couldn't believe what
Mayu too. Yeah, Mayu's one of those people too. Of like, it's always the people with the goofy personalities that really will like knock you clean out.
She's fantastic. Honestly, like, she's such a star. Like, every time I see her, I'm just like, whoa, Natsupoi, you're fantastic. Saori just like there, just like, I'm here to smack. That's it. Love it.
Oh my God, I saw her smile.
When?
It was like somebody, it was like Stardom had done like this, it was like this like short recap video of like behind the scenes of like one of the pay-per-view shows. And so I saw her smile, not in front of the camera now, like, but she smiled backstage. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know she had, like, like, I didn't even know like you show teeth, girl. Like,
we need to see it.
She's always like, when I'm gonna find it again, I'll send it to you. But she's just always like,
business time.
Period. Bob means serious person.
And
That's
that team finish plus Saori's finish. I can't even say words, just that.
I ain't gonna lie. I watched it live, and so there was just so much happening, but I started kicking my feet. I said, oh! And so, it's in the middle of the night. Like, you gotta, for me, like, a lot of times, like, my energy is low. So, like, I'm watching, but that's all you'll get out of me. Like, the hooping, hollering, screaming, jumping that I typically do, like, it's only but so much you're going to get from me at 3 a.m. But the girls had me up. I was up for this tag match now.
And let me say, Konami, how she didn't win? Because she was wrecking the whole match. I said, oh, well, I'm sorry, Mariah, this title is going. It's going.
I think it's part of it is because they put so much into Mirai. She's not losing it anytime soon. Boo. But second of all, Konami, up until I think this match, was a freelancer and only just now has agreed to, like, I think she's coming back to Stardom full time. I believe so. So I do think that was part of it. She wasn't actually signed to the company. Like same thing with like Risa Sarah. Like, and I will say Stardom is actually really good about that. They really do take in outside opponents a lot of times. Like, you know, will follow up on the history of, you know, their wrestlers that they might have had in other companies. Like, for example, Natsupoi Saori was one of those stories. Giulia and Suzu is one of those stories. Giulia and Risa Sarah is one of those stories. It's almost like an AEW type of like being able to bring in outside, you know, people for like, you know, specific matches if it makes sense. So yeah, that might have had something to do with it.
Shay, don't even. Hilarious. Okay, what else? Oh, what else we got? Sorry, I like muted myself.
All good. So we are going to get into the standings and then we'll go to a commercial. So right now in the Red Stars, we got Natsuko is leading with 12. Right behind her is Natsupoi with 9. And then we have a 3-way tie for third with Tam Nakano, Mayu Iwatani, as well as Sourei. Now, Mayu's already been mathematically eliminated because you see she's had 3 losses. The other 2 have only had 1 each, and they still have a few matches to go. And so it's going to be they're probably not winning. I'm just be real. They're probably not winning at all. But I think they still got a chance, technically, mathematically. But Mayu's out mathematically. She does still have 2 more match. Wait, no, she doesn't. She has 1 more match against Starlight Kid. Because Saya is obviously injured. So yeah, that's where we are.
So anyone with 3 or more losses is out.
Yes.
Essentially. Okay. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So mathematically eliminated. So right now, the only person I believe that has a chance, only people that I believe has a chance to truly win this block is Natsupoi and Natsuko. Natsupoi, she's cutting it close though. She's gonna have to beat Hazuki and Tam. And Tam is gonna be her biggest competition by far. And also her best friend, which is also the drama. Can't wait. You know, Cosmic Angels, those are, you know, the Real Housewives of Japan. They are so messy.
Tam, I'm gonna need you to just come on, girl. Do this for us. Lay down. We need the finger poke of doom. You gotta just lay down for this one, please. Please do right by her. I'm sorry.
Please.
The finger poke of doom. Moving on to the blue. Right now we have Utami Hayashishita is leading with 8 points. But to be quite honest, Blue Stars is still so stacked. This could change at any time. Right behind her with 7 points is Giulia. Giulia still has 2 matches to go. 1 versus Azumi and 1 versus Utami. And we have a 6-way tie for third. There with Azumi, Mirai, Mina, Mariah, Momo, and Saori. Technically, Mirai is above the rest of them because she only has 2 losses rather than the 3 that everybody else has. So that's where we are. Hainan is already mathematically eliminated. Micah has 5. I'm not sure if that means, you know what? Micah's not mathematically eliminated yet because she hasn't wrestled all her matches yet. Micah has 5 matches left. So Micah will be a very, very interesting person to watch for the rest of this tournament, but especially her match versus Giulia, which is coming soon, which is going to be Inter Donna Del Mondo fighting. Yeah.
I'm hoping for Mina to take it, honestly. But I want to be mad at Utami doing it.
I'm now convinced that Mina could go very far in this tournament, but especially what I've seen recently, it looks like Utami's finally hit her groove in this tournament, and I think it's a really good possibility she takes it to the end. Does she win is the real question, because at this point, I'm going to be honest, I don't know who's going to win. And I'm not sure Stardom knows going to win either. So she would be the first 2-time winner of the 5-star Grand Prix if she does win. So here's that.
Okay.
I think it's time for a commercial. People.
Think it's time for commercial? Let's do it. Just check out the
Hey peeps, TK Trinidad here, boss lady of Women's Wrestling Talk. And I want to say thank you so much for watching because you've got millions of options. Plus, you don't have to worry about sharing your password to check us out. But while you're here, hopefully you know we have so many more shows to watch, like Turnbuckle Glam, Raw Post Show, WoW Post Show, AEW Dynamite Post Show, Women's Wrestling Army Post Show, NXT Post Show, Impact Wrestling Post Show, AEW Rampage and SmackDown Live Post Show, On the Scroll, ROH Post Show, WWT Live, plus all of our interviews with the hottest women's wrestlers in the game. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our website at www.talkpod.com and follow us on all social media platforms at www.talkpod, and make sure to spread the word. That means send this to the group chat. Yes, even the person with the green bubble. Thanks again so much for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Ciao for now.
All righty.
Shay cutting me off in the middle of my sentence, but I'm glad y'all saw the commercial. Listen,
I thought I pressed it. Like I was.
that's okay.
I'm going in the corner.
No, you're fine. I was trying to.
I'm going to the shame corner. Okay.
Not at all. Not at all. Okay, let's do it.
We are back. Moving on. So this is where we are in Stardom. Coming up, is that next week? I think it's next week, the 10th. The Dream Tag Festival is happening. So we'll have the team of Saki and Kashima and Mayu Utami versus Azumi and Starlight Kid. Those two have had wars together. So that's going to be interesting seeing them team up. We have Giulia and Suzu versus Utami and Micah. That one's probably my favorite that going into this to watch. We have Mina and Tam, who have had a very, very, very storied rivalry, as well as being formerly in the same faction, versus Saori and Natsupoi. Now, this I will say, this might actually be my favorite because this is going to be the messiest match ever. So all of these people have history together. You know, Mina used to be in Cosmic Angels. Tam, Saori, and Natsupoi are now all in Cosmic Angels. There's just a lot happening here. I'm excited. We have Natsuko, Tora, and Hazuki versus Nanai Takahashi. And who's that? Raka? I think it's Raka. I'm interested in tag team of Giulia and Suzu. Me too. We have Mai Sakurai and Mirai versus Rina and Hina, the twins. And we have Momo squared, Momo Watanabe and Momo Kogo. I think that's just the cleverest thing, versus Hanan and Mariah May. And so this is going to be interesting. Even though I wanted Mariah May to team up with May Sarah. They've been so funny together on the internet. But whatever. But that's the Dream Tag Festival. It's happening next week. And also official, I stole this from our good friend Scott E. Wrestling. Official now for Nagoya Golden Fight 2023 on October 9th. We have for the World of Stardom Championship, we have Tam Nakano versus Natsuko Tora. This is why I also don't think Natsuko's going to win the 5-star. She just needed to get that win over Tam because obviously you pin the champion, you're entitled to a title shot. She's not going to win. I don't think she's going to win the whole tournament anymore. But she's going to face Tam for the World Stardom Championship at the big Nagoya show. That should be very interesting. We have for the Goddess of Stardom belts, Saori and Natsupoi will be challenged by Utami and Azumi. They pulled up after the match in their baseball jerseys, their Queen's Quest baseball jerseys, and they said, yeah, we want you. We want to face you. For the high speed championship, Saki Kashima. Now, I will say she was messy for trying to kick May while she was down. Obviously, May has been going from hopping from place to place trying to get a title shot from just about anybody. She done came to Saki before and said that, can I get a title shot? Saki told her no. But since May lost that match, Saki came in to rub it in her face and say, I guess I'll give you a title shot, loser. I hope she lose it. I hope she lose it. It's time. It's May's time. It's May's time. And so I'm actually very excited for this high-speed match, for the high-speed championship. And this one is probably the match I didn't see coming, but now I think I'm more excited for it than just about anything else. Sourei versus Mina Shirakawa in a UWF rules match, which is essentially MMA style. Mina said, Sourei, I want to come see about you, and I want to do it I want to do it your way. I think I can beat you in your style, which is crazy. I'm going to be honest, Mina, I don't know why you're doing this. You don't have to do this. Respectfully, my sister is a model who turned into a wrestler, but she's never been an MMA fighter. As I've said, Sourei can go toe-to-toe, blow for blow with just about anybody. Those strikes are real. Emphasis on real. So I don't know why you want to go. It's one thing to have a match with Sourei, but you want to have an MMA style match with her? Like, Mina, I believe in you. I believe in you so bad, but let's talk about this. I will be seated, though. But I am concerned. Saki went all Regina George in It's May's time. Yeah, she did. I'm excited. Yes, excited about all of it. But I'm worried about my sister Mina.
Mina girl, I'm scared. I am scared.
I'm afraid.
But you know what? I think she's gonna have one of those, like, she's really gonna give it. Like, I feel like it's gonna be close. I really think she's coming with something different.
She's gonna do such a good job, though. Like, seriously, like, I will say, Mina, one thing that I love about her so much is that chip on her shoulder. She knows what people thinks of her. She knows what, like, people assume out of her. And I think it's all about Club Venus, because, like, they're like the cute, pretty girls, but, like, I love how hard they work, and I love how, like, they are so anxious, and they're so eager, and they do the work to prove everybody wrong. So I know for a fact Mina wouldn't set herself up in this match if she knew that she couldn't hang. But girl, you have to show me, because yeah.
Yeah, and the Goddesses of Stardom match. That, I know there's already a high speed match going on, but I feel like this match is gonna be quick as hell. My gosh, like, this match is about to snatch me up. Like, I really am scared. Like, I have barely any hair left to be snatched, honestly.
Ma'am.
Please.
You can tell, like, we're getting tired because we're getting real delulu.
Yeah.
Real delulu.
Tired up in these streets. We are tired.
Auntie's tired, okay? But yes, that's what we're heading for in Stardom. Like I said, the show, the Dream Tag Festival, that is taking place on September 10th, I believe. And this Nagoya Golden Fight show is taking place on October 9th, which is, wait, hold on. I think that's my pro wrestling anniversary. That'll make 17 years as a fan. 17 years as a fan. So I only got 25 years of life, so that's a long time.
I stopped counting, so I didn't reveal my age.
I understood.
No comment over here, I guess.
I'm gonna be honest though, I feel like a brand new fan. Though. Like, I feel like a brand new fan just because, like, I didn't really know anything outside of WWE and TNA back in the day, up until like a few years ago. So I do feel like, in a lot of ways, I feel like I'm a brand new fan. And like the wrestling that I first watched when I first got into wrestling, like, I don't watch it all anymore. So just starting all over.
There you go.
I agree. Same way, because I was always so very, like, I just went from WWE to TNA, WWE, TNA, and then TNA, I'm sorry, Impact opened me up to, like, Ring of Honor. And then I started going to Ring of Honor shows when they were in town, and then, on and on, more stuff. And then now I feel like I'm really getting into this now. So it's easy to feel like a new fan because you're embarking on a new, journey every time when you
Absolutely.
open up.
And especially like I feel like getting to know like Japanese wrestling, it's a whole different world and it's a whole different structure. Like I feel like I had to completely relearn wrestling in a good way though, like and getting to learn different styles. Same things as like, getting into lucha, even like some parts of like learning about like the UK wrestling scene. And I think like it's really it's a cool time, I think, as a wrestling fan to really partake, because now you have like so many talent, except for Stardom, work on that. But just about everybody else is traveling to like, to the US. You can find them at your favorite indie. Like it's a really cool time to really explore all wrestling. Oh, thank you. Well, that's what we're here for, to, to expose people to more wrestling outside of their bubble, because it's a beautiful time to be a fan of pro wrestling. I think it's something for everybody, so
Boom.
moving forward to this movement, the N1 is finally over, thank God. I don't mean it because it was a bad tournament. I actually really enjoyed a lot of the matches, but like this is my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. I think this is my 5th tournament that I've covered, Japanese tournament I've covered this year. New Japan Cup, Best of the Super Juniors, G1 Climax, 5-star Grand Prix, N1. So Auntie's tired, and I still got more because the Junior Tag League is coming up, as well as World Tag League is coming up. So there's plenty of stuff, tournaments about to happen, but this one is finally wrapped up. I got what I wanted. Go Shiozaki won. That was the horse I was backing. The final was the 2 people I wanted in the final. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's because most of my time as a wrestling fan, I never got what I wanted. Like, Like, especially the amount of times I cried after a WrestleMania, went to sleep crying because it was just like I never got what I wanted. It's weird. I feel like in this day of age to like actually for me to get what I want is crazy. But I got exactly what I wanted. I got Keno versus Go Shiozaki in the final. I got Go Shiozaki win in a beautiful match. No, I did. I didn't cry over this last Mania. Let me tell you why. I will never shed another tear on WWE again. I learned my lesson. That they had about a solid 15 years out of that 17 for me. Solid 15. You'll never waste my time again. I'll tell you what. Hey, like I said, there's something for everybody. Yeah, I gave them 15 years of my life. Enough. But yes, I got exactly what I wanted. And Jake Lee comes out, I feel some type of way about his title reign. I've said this, him and Mariah kind of in the same boat for me. I'm not going to lie. I treat them the same a little bit. But I will say Jake Lee's last match was actually pretty entertaining to me. And Mariah's last singles match was pretty entertaining to me. So we're making progress. But obviously these two are going to face off pretty soon. I forgot the date. It's later in September. I probably should have put that on the slide. But anyway, because obviously Go Shiozaki, with winning the N1 Victory Tournament, is entitled to a title shot for the GHC Heavyweight Championship. So that's happening soon. They faced off. All is well. This was awesome. Moving forward. Oh, and for all of you who want to know about Noah, if you're interested in watching more Noah, it's on Wrestle Universe. With the subscription, you get DDT, you get Noah, you get TJPW, which is Tokyo Joshi Pro, and you get Ganbare Pro Wrestling. I highly recommend it. I have way too many wrestling streaming services, but that is probably one of my favorites. So here's that. Moving on. I don't think, have I ever talked about All Japan on here?
No.
Last week. I think I noted, I said that Kojima won the Royal Road tournament, but I didn't talk a lot about it. So All Japan, who's also made a really great comeback this year. And I also want to say shout out to like some of the major Japanese promotions for when they came out of the pandemic. Like a lot of them have really been working together. And I think, and a part of that working together is a lot of the majors such as New Japan, Noah, and All Japan. They have added women's matches to their big cards, typically working with like freelancers. The only one who has officially like formed a women's division is New Japan, but both All Japan and Noah have been like, putting women's matches here and there on their cards. So that's been really cool, just seeing like the expansion and growth there. All Japan has a huge show in about 12 hours, I think. 12 hours? Yeah, about 12 hours. And it was just recently announced it's going to be streamed on Fight TV, because I'm not going to lie, I have a hard time finding the links for actual All Japan shows. Yeah, we about to get into that. Absolutely. We got to get into that. And so there's a huge show. The main event is Kento Miyahara, who is the ace of All Japan Pro Wrestling, versus Yuma Anzai, who is being groomed to be the future ace of All Japan Pro Wrestling. Yuma Anzai just finished, as he starred obviously in the N1 Victory Tournament in Noah. Just basically, I call it like a guest star role. He had like a recurring guest role in Noah for a couple weeks as a part of the N1 Victory Tournament. He had a tremendous showing, by the way. I enjoyed all his matches. He had a great showing specifically against Katsuhiko Nakajima, who notably had a main event sold out Korakuen Hall match earlier this summer with Kento Miyahara, which was rated 5.5 stars by Big Dave. And I personally have it ranked as my third best match this year, behind the Kenny Omega Will Ospreay matches. So that's very high praise coming from me. So both of them have history with Nakajima. They're finally facing off. Yuma, I think, is what, 26? Kento is 34. This is going to be great. But the women's match, I will say, out of all the women's matches that I've seen, like between All Japan and Noah, this is definitely the most high profile match that you could possibly book for just about any card. These are all really high profile stars. So you have Kairi and Saori, who used to be, obviously earlier this year, they were the Artists of Stardom champions, which is the Stardom's Trios champion, alongside Natsupoi and their faction Restart, which is still one of my favorite trios matches of the entire year that they had versus Donna Del Mondo. And so they're teaming up. And then because Saori is technically still a freelancer, if I'm not mistaken, like she's not full-time with Stardom. And I should have put this on the slide, but I'll talk about this right afterwards. But versus Yanagi, Sayaka, and Sourei. So Yanagi used to be full-time in Stardom. Now member of Cosmic Angels. She left last year to become a freelancer. And so she's been killing it literally all over the world. She's been doing a lot of appearances on the US indies, a lot of appearances on the Japanese indies. And obviously Sourei was a part of WWE and NXT. Didn't work out. She recently came back to Japan. She's been doing her own produced shows called Soreism. There's been like a chapter 1 and chapter 2. They've been really, really, really well produced shows. And she's had like some great matches since she's returned to Japan. I think one of her best opponents is always Shihiro Hashimoto from Sendai Girls. Sendai Girls is ran by Miko Satomura. If you know her from NXT, is also a Joshi legend, like Mount Rushmore, period. So this tag match is going to be great. And also it is the one of, if not the last match of Kairi's before she goes on her quote unquote indefinite hiatus. It has been rumored that indefinite hiatus is actually her going back to WWE. I've really enjoyed her run in Japan. I wish it could last longer, but I understand like Kairi probably isn't going to be doing this too much longer. She's had a very, 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 very long, successful career. She's done just about everything there is to do. I think she's doing victory laps. And I think like that's why she's been doing this tour, just been doing a lot of cool stuff. Just because like for women to be able to wrestle on an All Japan card or a Noah card or a New Japan card is extremely historic. Like it's extremely historic. It's up until honestly, like within the last year, it was unprecedented. And these are some of the most storied wrestling promotions of all time, just about anywhere. So it's very, very, very prestigious. So she's just, I think, just doing stuff. Yeah, Kairi and WWE had a very positive split. They did. She was actually amongst the Joshis and amongst, I would say, the Japanese wrestlers and how WWE books Japanese wrestlers. She was definitely one of the better booked ones. She accomplished quite a bit during her time in WWE, and so I think that, you know, she's getting older. I wouldn't be surprised if she just wants to, you know, travel the world. She's a huge star wherever she goes. And so I'm going to miss her in Japan. I can't promise that I'm going to watch her matches in WWE. I'm going to be honest. If they're on pay-per-view, I'll watch. But I wish her the absolute best. She's awesome. And I've really, really, really enjoyed her return to Stardom. So, yeah.
No, I totally agree. I think she's fantastic. I mean, gotta do what you gotta do if you feel like that's right for you. But, you know, I'm gonna support her no matter what. Yeah, and that's gonna be a crazy match, honestly.
Oh my gosh, this tag match is gonna eat. We're gonna get fed.
I'm excited, actually. Yeah.
It's gonna be excellent.
I don't got nothing to add.
I mean,
yeah,
going to be excellent. Is that all? Yeah, that was my last slide. Oh, getting into my last point. Saori. So obviously, this past week, the trailer was released for the new Joshi promotion in New York. Saori is one of the people who's going to be featured. So that's why I said she's technically not full-time in Stardom. She is a freelancer, and I'm very interested to see how this works. Because Stardom did put those Goddess of Stardom championships on her. And it's really funny because I'm almost positive that they took them off of Mariah because they felt like she might leave soon. Mm-hmm. Only for them to put it on somebody else that is also planning to go to the States. Now, I'm not sure how often that I'm not sure now how often this promotion is going to film and do shows. So maybe it's just like a once every 3 month type of thing. I don't know. But she's definitely on that roster. And also, it looks like it's going to be really cool. I'm actually really, really excited.
Look, they eating up these little promotions. They eating them up. I'm like, y'all look so good. Yeah.
The
And
girls look good.
Quickly. It sold out quickly. Like,
oh, absolutely.
As soon as, like, within a couple hours, I think they were just completely sold out. Don't know what the venue, like how big the venue is, but
I feel like they should have got a bigger venue. It was fairly small, I will say. Yeah. People really, really, I think, underestimate how popular Joshi wrestling has become in the States. TJPW sold out Globe Theater earlier this year for WrestleMania weekend. And so they're planning on doing more shows in the US because like they're getting so much love. And I'm not going to lie, it's Japanese wrestling, period. DDT did extremely well during WrestleMania weekend this year. They did the DDT Goes Hollywood show. Like, I think, like I said, the international borders between wrestling worlds are dissolving. And I think a lot of people are just like really willing to do that work to like, oh my gosh, like if this person is here, let me go see them. Let me go see him here. Let me go see them there. It's a really cool time to be a fan. But like, yeah, Joshi wrestling specifically is very popular. Yeah, the trailer did look awesome. Mm-hmm. It reminded me kind of like, how do I say it? Like, it reminded me a little bit of what WoW does as far as like the character bit work. But I will say, I kind of prefer this. I do prefer this. Like, I think the anime base is like really cool. And it's like something that I don't think has ever been done before. And also, I will be honest, they have a lot more recognizable faces. Like, as far as like, if for people who follow Joshi wrestling, when that roster dropped, I said, oh, y'all not playing. Mm-hmm. Like, y'all got real hoopers on here, like real, like, I'm not saying household names but like, you know, for people who like really keep up, it's like, oh, like when I saw Maya Yuki on there, I said, oh, like we're hooping.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be awesome. Can't wait.
So I guess that excuse me wraps it up. So before we get out of here, because we do got to get out of here because Shay, she got a turnaround. She got a quick turnaround. So Lyric, tell the folks where they can find you on the interwebs.
You can find me at Lyric Wrestling on Twitter and the Instagrams, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Lyric Swinton, and you can also pray for me because I'm tired.
Shay, we know where we can find you. We will find you in about an hour back here for NXT. So, and then you'll give us the rundown.
You know me so well. Oh my God.
Y'all can find me on Twitter at Aisha Watches right there. Also on Instagram, sure, whatever. Y'all can follow me over there. It's just my first and last name. You can search me out, whatever. But mainly y'all can find me editing these vlogs. So please go watch them because baby,
Aisha made me look so interesting, y'all. Please watch these vlogs.
Watch them. I spend a lot of time editing them, trying to put them together.
You're appreciated.
So go watch. But other than that, that's it. We will see you next week. This is Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Until next time, bye.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.